Hey, traders. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're having a good one. NFL weekend kickoff, right? A lot of changes going on there, right? With big players at new teams, all that. Don't really follow it that much, but I know it's a big day for a lot of people, so we pay respect to it. Excuse me, hold on. Perfect. And, I guess some decent moves happened last night. I mean, really not that crazy. It's just like weekend whipsaw stuff where I think futures closed 10,350. Yeah, and all that happened was you had a move up and then you moved down today just so futures would look, be near their open, right? This was 11,350. You opened at like 10,000. My God, I keep saying that. 10,350. You opened at 10,321. So no big deal. I mean, really kind of sucks, right? I mean, you're not making lower lows yet. You haven't broken below 99.50. But at the same time, it's kind of weird that from just our previous high to low, we haven't even made a 38% retrace yet. That's extremely common. We're not there. It's pretty weak if you can't even get a 38% retrace. So it's not over yet. I mean, it could eventually pivot, make a higher low than previous lows, and go again. And eventually we could see ourselves at 10,950 for a 50% retrace. 618, 11,200, near the 200 moving average. I mean, this is like, after dumps like this, you can make methodical rallies that take a while and eventually get to these levels before showing some extreme bearish divergence and a much lower high than the previous highs before you have a much stronger impulse down. So at this point, right, I mean, where Bitcoin is reversing, it would be extremely weak if this was it. If this was the only rally we got, not even seeing 38%. What would be 30% retrace? Wow. And even if you fib from the very high, the highest high, just adds the argument like how, man, it's so shallow right now. 382 from that high is like 10,838. So you'd think we would go higher in time, but there's no edge, really. I mean, you'd think we could get up to the common retrace zone, the golden zone, just maybe based on the daily. But we have to keep our eye on the DXY, the US dollar, which we can look at right now, because this is going to really dictate where gold goes, and I think Bitcoin. I mean, you're so close to a confirmed partial decline here, where eventually, if we did get a break to the upside on the US dollar, targets would be 94.77, 95.48, and that wouldn't be weird. It wouldn't be crazy at all. And really, I mean, since the dump started, really in late June, early July, Bitcoin's been completely inverse correlating, just like gold. So we can look at futures. We should look at Bitcoin, but let's talk about the Nasdaq, top right of your screen futures, S&P 500, top left, bottom left, Dow Jones, all gapping up a little bit, 0.66% on Nasdaq, 0.55% on the S&P, Dow Jones, 0.52% up. So, I guess we're talking about the futures. You really, it's good where you closed, somewhat good where you closed on Friday on the S&P, right? Getting back above the January 22nd high. At one point was all-time highs. Right, really where I think if this held, you would eventually see 33.93, and if we get above 33.93, I'm going to feel a lot better about it. What's up, Aaron Morgan? This should go great with my harmonic pattern poster. Thank you, dude, for supporting the stream. Yeah, I mean, new merchandise right there. Wayne Basson killed it. Had, I think, over 100 orders the first day. Came out, none really since then. But, yeah, that right there, dude. Japanese candlesticks. It's your cheat sheet, but it's very artistic, too. So, and you support the stream and the community by doing it, by buying it, right? So, thanks, dude. Released a new t-shirt yesterday. It's kind of expected. I don't know, that being an election year and with a lot of stuff going on where, I don't know, people in America hate America. Well, if you want to support the stream and America at the same time, dude, right? This was released yesterday. Just the scriptar as an American flag, and then on the back, just 1776. Why not, man, right? And you can get it as a t-shirt, you can get it as a tank top, you can get it as a really nice hoodie. Love it as a hoodie. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I love that right there. So, just letting you know, we got merchandise, man. More of it. Okay, so I'm gonna feel a lot better about things once the S&P gets back above 3393. But I'm really, you know, we gotta get back above 3,585. A lot of uncertainty going on, but at the same time, you know, that being said, there's a lot of value out there, a lot of value stocks, the ones that have been beaten down that have not had any kind of recovery, like tech, or they V-shaped recovery stuff, you know, like you name it, man, anything tech, just about V-shaped bid. So I'm just talking about like different sectors, like banks are a sector, like financials, you know, restaurants, retail, certain retail. And you know that if you watch the stream, and especially if you're a patron, you know, like we've been eyeballing these. There's great. I mean, dude, thinking about like Under Armour and stuff. They look pretty amazing on a chart. They're like textbook Bukowski accumulation patterns after deep 88% retraces from 2016, 2009 lows. I mean, that's what you're looking for. That's the dream. As a swing trader, position trader, it is. Oh man, so yeah, earlier today had a little powwow in Patreon, did the voice chat, about an hour and a half. We had a really good discussion on all kinds of things, so might be doing that more often. Seems like a lot of people loved it. I mean, I think there's still a lot of people still in the voice chat right now, so. Are we having issues with the stream? I'm seeing what people are saying. Now, I know like there's a streamer I watch, nothing to do with financial markets, but you know, he's saying if you're on mobile, you might get a blackout screen, and that might be YouTube's problem. Like they might be having issues, but it shouldn't be happening on like maybe on your Apple TV or on your PC, right? Never happened before, Tuckafu. Never happened before. A technological problem. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, never happened before. It's like the story of the life of tech. I'm telling you, man, like I could almost bet within the next 7-day period, something's gonna go wrong for me with what I do for the first time ever. And I've been doing this 2.5 years, right? Or over that now. So yeah. Get wrecked. Tuckafu, well that's probably it. Alright. So yeah, futures, man, what a good start, but you know, small gap that'll probably fill in time. We are in a time of uncertainty. I mean, for good reason, right? I mean, there've just been complete prosperity for the trader for the past 5 months or so. Really. I mean, if you didn't make money in it, and if you did make money and you're not satisfied, you're not grateful for how much money you were able to make in the conditions we've been in, I don't know what to tell you, dude. This is a time where, hey, it's gonna start getting kind of rocky and bumpy, and things are gonna be a lot less certain. You know, we got an election coming up, man. I don't know why mom is doing that. It's so dumb. Doing it on both. No, it's just doing the S&P. So still at this time, it's really tough to say in crypto. Like, there wasn't an edge when we pivoted from 99.50 and rallied to 10,550. There wasn't an edge then. There isn't really an edge now. There's just not. Like DXY, yeah, we gotta get I think we already went to it, didn't we? No, sorry, because I'm thinking about an hour and a half of. Maybe we did. My God. that Patreon powwow, I looked at like everything. So I'm just kind of redoing what I did earlier. What's up, Wizard Man? Thanks for the merch perch, supporting the stream, dude. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, this is everything's, you know, hanging in the balance of the U.S. dollar, right? You think that equities and commodities and currencies are all going to get a haircut if the DXY decides to make a common retrace from its major discernible swing high from June 29th to the low, right? These are common. This is nothing, dude. It's not even critical support resistance at like 95.85. It's just, so if it does that, I mean, it would make sense to see gold dump, to see Bitcoin and cryptos dump, maybe even equities dump, all right? Leading up to the election, and then you get up to make the common retrace and the trend continues bearish, right? Lower highs, you make a lower high on both of these before another major reversal to the downside again. So, but looking at the US dollar, if sometimes there's just not enough demand, and structures like this can break down too. It's not a game of certainty. It's all about probability. So this could fail to make its confirmed partial decline and dump and then come back down to 91.93. That's best case scenario for everything. I mean, at this point, dude, you want Bitcoin to rally. You are not a fan of the DXY right now. You don't want people going to cash. But again, doesn't it make sense like around this time is maybe when people might go cash because it is uncertainty. That's when people do that. So let's go to the daily so you can just see, looking left, how close, you know, the US dollar is from just falling off a cliff. It really is. Like if this fails here and we see 91.93 again, man, there's a chance it's over and the US dollar is going to roll over, see 90.99, right? I mean, this is it. This is what it bounced off of, this April of 2016 low. Look, you got it one time only. And it was a bullish pin bar on the daily. Hey, beautiful. Education, man. Education. If you don't know, this is the bullish pin bar. It's a little off just because the bullish pin bar, technically, it needs to close within the previous candle. It closed a little bit higher. I mean, I just think that'd be a stronger argument for the pin bar at that point. But yeah, you hit a critical support from 2016, and this pattern on the daily was painted. All right, reversal, you got it. All the way up to the downsloping resistance tested, dark cloud cover reversal on the daily. Yes, dark cloud. So bullish pin bar into a dark cloud cover. Wow, beautiful, man. TA being respected because look, from that, the follow through you got, you know, before it rallied back up was 92.70. That's great. So now it's starting to sell off again. Again, what we want, right? This is what you watch the stream to get value out of it, to be like, all right, so we don't want the US dollar to ever test 93.58 again, at least in this context, because that would be considered the confirmed partial decline. And with partial declines, when they're confirmed, there's a 70% chance of a breakout to the upside. So don't want that. Let's just roll over now with the dark cloud cover. Let the bear trend be really bearish. Okay, let it continue. Let it everything underperforms. You can't even catch a common retrace because it's so weak. That's what we want. Okay. Really interesting. Talked about it in the stream before. Talked about it Patreon voice chat today. You can see we haven't seen negative momentum since August 7th on the US dollar. And then you go to Bitcoin on the daily. We haven't seen positive momentum since August 10th, right? The complete inverse correlation of the MACD histogram. So eventually, I mean, you're waning on negative momentum soon. The bulls will get the ball again. The momentum will go positive again. And that's where you think, that's why it's not crazy or insane to think that Bitcoin could eventually run up to test 10,952. That's why it's not crazy, dude. Because it runs up, makes a lower high than the previous highs before, it gets a little positive momentum, all right, then pivots, then dumps again to back test 99.50 in time, and then we get maybe a double bottom, discernible potential double bottom with bullish divergence or something, the edge we always look for. I mean, it's just not deep enough of a retrace yet to be like, oh yeah, it's just going down next. It could go up next before going down again. I know that sounds crazy. It sounds like really anyone could say that, but I'm just telling you with Fibonacci how it could go. All right, and then we look at the unclear, the foggy, murky waters of Bitcoin. Then we go to Ethereum, and it kind of feels a little bit more clear what's going on with it. Until, I mean, look at today, man. Like, we were doing the voice chat, and this, it was like right after the last 4-hour candle closed, and it dumped $10 in seconds, and within a few other seconds, it rallied back up and is sitting at near its 4-hour highs, 364.78. But last night got eviscerated, dumped like 10%. It's only down about 6% now, but still beautiful containment within the upsloping structure. You gotta admire that. You gotta love that. But I mean, really, still huge impulse down where it was a 30% drawdown. 30% drawdown, I think in like, how many days? 3 days maybe? Let me make sure. I don't want to say fake news. 3 days? 3 days and 20 hours. So about 4 days, 36% drawdown. Welcome to crypto. Welcome to the effing show. But where it reversed was beautiful, dude. It made all the sense in the world. Why? I mean, duh. Like, there was like bearish divergence on the daily with a critical support resistance looking left that had already been plotted, right? Exceeded the targets for the trade setup when there was an edge for a long. And this is what we're waiting for again. We're just waiting and waiting for an edge to show up, and it just hadn't shown up really. Not since this dump. So you could be bear flagging still, but the longer this extends out, the less likely it becomes that it is an actual bear flag, right? So this could continue on up and eventually break to the upside. It's possible, man. Just really probably depends on the US dollar and what it does. I mean, that's what we're all waiting for, man. But really cool what it bounced off of today, and I don't know if it's going to turn into anything. It could just dump again if Bitcoin sucks. But if you look left, what did it bounce off of violently, actually? You go back to June 26, 2019. That was when Bitcoin was at nearly $14,000. The stream, I mean, I was streaming and had 3,800 people watching. It was an extreme euphoria. The most euphoric stream I've ever like witnessed or been a part of, right? It was just crazy emotion everywhere. Like, chat was moving. You couldn't even tell. I mean, you see what I'm saying? That was the support we just bounced off of on Ethereum. 353.90 right there. And since then, since that bounce, look where you are, 366.83. Not where traders set it up, but where the price action got to its highest point that day when Bitcoin was getting to its highest point. What is that? You go to the weekly, I'll show you. The weekly, man. The double bottom. Remember the neckline of the potential, well, it was confirmed double bottom until you fell back into it. But look, right here, man. You get back above that, I mean, all is well. No harm, no foul if you can get back above that, dude. All you've done on the weekly so far is reset your oscillators. There was no bearish divergence or anything. Now you're just sitting beautifully at 62.5. You gotta love that, but not a very good candle. It's just a spinning top indecision candle out there, bearish engulfing. So would be great to close above that, but I'm just showing you where it's at, right? It's just regarding support resistance right here from last year. Quarter crawler, who dat? So I hope you all had a great weekend. Can't even believe still that I even showed up yesterday. I was so dead. Oh, but I feel so much better now. Just a day of not drinking alcohol on keto. What I can do, man. It's great. But what's the real story today? It's one asset. That's it, dude. It's one. It's called Binance. Let's go to the weekly on it. The weekly on Binance. This is the lifespan of the chart. It goes back to November 2017 or so. Where are we? Very, very close to a 78.6% retrace. I mean, this is almost a textbook bearish cipher pattern. You were at the highest point. You were about $1 off. But I mean, you know, whatever. There's absolutely no edge. There's no like bearish divergence or anything at the PCZ on the weekly. But man, you're now overbought. You're at 75, the highest RSI Binance has seen since June of 2019. So you got to wonder, will there be a major reversal at 33.65? No idea. What a freaking pump! It's up 8.36% today. Look at the volume involved on the Moonage and the candle before it. This is a huge bullish engulfing candle, and eventually this keeps going. 37.25 is the target, but we just know X, A, B, C, D, right? You don't want to ignore it. You just want to know that it's there, and it could be a reversal area. So it's like, for anyone thinking about FOMOing, with this showing up, like, why ever FOMO when an asset's about to reach the pattern completion zone before, you know, that's like where the price would reverse. Certainly value is starting to get there for shorts, where it could reverse, eventually back test 25 bucks before going to higher prices if the trend's truly bullish, which it is. It's like consecutive higher lows. All right. And higher highs. I mean, if you go from this high to this high, yeah. So it's an uptrend. But I'm just saying, like, if you look at this and then you go to Bitcoin, what it did, right? I mean, this is like this almost the same thing. This is a little bit different. This was technically a shark because of C being a 1.618 extension versus what we just saw on Binance that was in the parameters of a valid bearish cipher pattern, which was, you know, nothing. It can't be any deeper than the 1414 fib extension. This was certainly so. Okay. Indecision candle on Bitcoin on the weekly, just after testing 99.50. I mean, indecision candles aren't really what you're looking for after bearish engulfings. So eventually, I mean, the absolute utopian entry for us would be in here. This is green marks the spot right there, 82.65 to 8600. That's kind of like the area where we'd be looking for an absolute legendary long opportunity, just because of what we know about harmonics with the bullish 5-0. It would be a true blessing for prices to get to that level, but nothing ensures that they will. Okay. Lou, you'd think so, man, right? I mean, you would think that would be how 78% retrace. You know, those ciphers, man, are nuts. They can be. Hello? Y'all there? Thanks for the 700 people tuned in. I think it was shadow banned yesterday. Sucks, dude. I'm talking about the euro, which is literally right now the absolute inverse of the DXY. I mean, almost identical. We can try to pull it up. Let me see it. Here, the absolute inverse, of course. But yeah, I mean, potential partial rise here, where if it was the US dollar, potential partial decline, right? Descending broadening wedge, ascending broadening wedge. So if the euro hits 177, or I'm sorry, 117, then there is a 70% chance of a breakout to the downside, where eventually it would be testing 1.16367. Support, and look what it upthrusted and then back tested the upthrust. That's like the inverse of a spring and a back test of a spring, but on the bearish side. So that's like confirming. Okay, we had this Rudy Poo. All right, you dump below it, now around. Okay, kind of confirming to market participants that the top is in, that this resistance is still very real. You look left, you can see it right here, back from August 2017, and then you had price action correlation in November 2017. So that's That's what's going on with the euro. Hidden bearish divergence. Not a good sign. I mean, that's not what you want. I mean, that's stuff that could usher in. I mean, that could help get you to a confirmed partial rise. So, yeah. Okay, we can, I mean, continue if you really want to see like the carnage that's occurred across the crypto sphere. So Neo, that was just killing it, is now is down 9% really right now. All right, all it did was run up, make probably an 88% retrace perfectly, and $22.09. These trend lines are here. I'm not changing them. 22.09. It might have been the local high on the daily or something. Yeah, it was. And you've dumped, and it's okay. I mean, you're just making, eventually you can just make a higher low than the previous low and continue on up. I mean, look, the weekly is so important on Neo. Now, you were earlier, I mean, before like this morning's sell-off, Neo was bullishly engulfing a bearish engulfing candle, which is nuts, right? I mean, look how it's held on to this 1718. Like, you know, Ethereum is above it. It just bounced off of it today. Neo is bouncing off its own support resistance too, where traders set it up, but it's unable to break above the top part, right? We looked at with Ethereum. $20.89. You got to eventually get back above that. And then $22 is where traders set it up August 27th, 2018, that week. So, I mean, these are, after that, nothing really. Nothing till $31. So, you've reset the oscillators. You're at 68, 69. But yeah, this thing's down 9%. You can't even really tell on the weekly, can you? But having a maker down 3%, doing what everything else did. Like, remember we talked about it later on stream yesterday. Hey, you might have a couple things that look okay. It doesn't matter. If Bitcoin dumps, they don't have a chance. None of them have a chance. And like Link and KNC, destroyed. Of course, like that's, yeah, it doesn't matter. A trade setup will die if the macro kills it. I mean, it's gonna kill it. I mean, this market is so homogenous. It's like the same friggin' thing. Pretty predictable in that way, right? I mean, every now and then, like BNB today's up 7%. Wow, okay. And then like next week it'll be ONT or something else, right? And you can't predict which one is gonna buck everything else. It's impossible. Unless you have insider information or you work for freaking Binance or something. Okay, so yeah, Neo. Could be poised for much higher prices, but at the same time, this is major reversal to the downside area too. Like, this is where you hit a top, okay, not enough bids. All right, we sell off. We hit this, you know, $14 again, $14.50. If you don't hold that, then you fall right back into, you could see $5.30 again or something. Okay, so let's look at Maker. I mean, devastated, bearish engulfing candle. Last week and this week follow through price action near your lowest lows. Is it holding? I don't even know, man. It's still trying to hold on, isn't it? Yep. Trying to hold on to this support resistance from July 4th. I mean, it's a deep retrace, 886. Not a, you know, it should be a Garley, a 786, but I mean, this is it. I mean, below this, there's nothing on Maker until $440. So if you do break it, you could almost expect $440 to be the next area where Maker would run to, and then $430 after that. So it's like, yeah, you might have a harmonic, but the harmonic's just one variable. You need a lot more than one, okay? If a general market sell-off happened, would it affect Airy? Yeah, it would definitely affect Airy. It would probably kill Airy. I mean, Airy's already in trouble as it is. So just barely above 10,300 right now. There's no real support where you are on Bitcoin until 10,078 or so. So, I mean, it sells off, it hits 10,550, reverses. It wouldn't be weird at all to see 10,078 again, all right? So just, there's no edge. There hasn't been an edge. Wow. So yeah, we can shift gears to gold. Where I'm just looking at the price contraction, man. I mean, again, it's just like Bitcoin. It's a little bit better than Bitcoin, I guess, and it's histogram. So you got last time you've seen positive momentum was August 10th, identical to Bitcoin in that regard. I mean, it could be argued hidden bullish divergence kind of going on there. Still pretty neutral, man. I'm sorry. Like, why is it neutral? Because look at this impulse, man. This huge impulse. I mean, it's almost like blow off top stuff. And you've rallied and only made lower highs every single time since then. That's what's concerning. It's like momentum could have very well shifted to the bearish side on gold for the short term for a correction. And if you break 1920 ever, I mean, there's a good chance in time you'd see 1888, but really 1818 down here. So, I mean, right? It's just like, how can you even demand an edge on gold right now when there were just too many times that gold this year had been wonderful for an opportunity, man, over and over and over again. It's late in the day. So we gotta let these world events play out. We gotta let the November election happen, and you could see that markets could stay skittish. That means cash, right? That means US dollar could go up just because of that uncertainty that is upon us. So, I mean, at this point, dude, it's like, what do you want? What do you want, man? Lower highs. Kind of higher lows, about the same lows. So more distribution going on than accumulation, pretty much. All right. It's all dependent. It's going to inverse the US dollar. Sam NG, no. I mean, would I be taking longs right now on gold? No, it's too uncertain. You're in the dead middle of a triangle. Next support's 1920. There's resistance up here at 1965. Right? There were times to DCA into gold, to take trades on gold, many times, too many times, and you could have been here. I'm here 7 days a week throughout all of this on gold, all of it, man, all of it. There are opportunities. Now it's neutrality. So when things are neutral, get a coin, flip it. Hey, you could be right, and you could say, hey man, I was right on this, and it's like, well, show your math. What system did you use to predict your rightness, right? That it was going to go up or down. Like my system right now is like, I mean, you had 5 months to make insane tendies. If you didn't participate in it, hey, that sucks, man. But it doesn't mean like, hey, you should be going all in now. Weekly closes in 1 hour and 20 minutes. John, I don't know, man. No, I must have gotten declined or something. No, I'm not seeing that you bought anything. Thanks, man. Okay, so as we look at futures, they continue to rise. Yeah, you got the Nasdaq up 0.99%. S&P 500 up 0.71%. Dow Jones up 0.65%. So a decent start to futures. This is good. I mean, if things were bad, if you remember in March and April, I mean, whatever, around that time, February, like futures were like, on days like this, they were limiting down minutes minutes after the open, right? That's not the case right now. Volatility, I mean, bear stuff is not going on right now. Like, so that's a good sign. That's why we always monitor these futures, because they can dictate volatility spikes on spot the next day. Thanks for the sub, whoever that was. Yeah, Sam NG, that's a great question, man. I'm talking to patrons about it, and it's like, well, I mean, what I'm doing right now is taking the attendees I made and just the fortune that's been bestowed upon me with the Patreon and all that. I've taken reasonable profit, and I'll be waiting for the S&P to see if it gets above those critical support resistances again. But like, I mean, you think about, hey, do you have a mortgage? Are you able to refinance your mortgage because interest rates are really low, and at the same time you throw in a bunch of your capital into an illiquid asset? I mean, I think that's a great idea. I mean, that's just what I'm doing. I'm not saying anyone should do that. I'm just saying that's like what I'm doing right now. And hey, if things get good again on the stock market, we start getting above the previous all-time highs and all that, all right. But it's not like I'm not participating in the stock market. That doesn't mean that. It just means a lot of my capital is cash because of recent profit taking. And since the profit taking, I haven't felt what signal has been like, oh yeah, dude, it's time to go long again. It's only been like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and now it's like, a lot of uncertainty, like that's me though, right? Everyone has different situations. Okay, so gold. So we look at silver too. Same type of thing, man, where it's like, hey, is it some sort of head and shoulders now, man? Head and shoulder, it's very similar to gold, isn't it? There's a base of buying, could be a double bottom if the US dollar flops. It would maybe turn into a double bottom, right? But you could say, hey, man, it's also a descending triangle. Same time. It could be either one. Look at this though. I mean, after such an insane run up, you gotta understand that it could end up being a descending triangle here too. So all depends on the US dollar. We'll be monitoring it daily. You'll be informed. That's why I'm here. That's it. One bottom. It's really 3 bottoms here, but you're not making higher highs. So it's kind of bearish. Yeah, I mean, the Japanese yen to the US dollar. Man, it's hard to argue and say it's not bullish. Look at the Japanese yen to the US dollar. That's a stupid ascending triangle right there. Pretty stupid in terms of amazing looking, right? And it's even better, right? Because it's like you had a low here and now it's an ascending triangle developing as a higher low than that major swing low before it. So that, I mean, this is spectacular. It is getting ready for a rally to the upside, and if it does ever break this 0.9570 sell wall, I mean, it's going straight up to 0.009918, and then after that 1 cent, say like 9/10 of 1 cent. It's whatever. I just say 0.010042 looking left. I mean, that you break that, oh man, you're going up to 0.0100 0.557. Okay. So very interesting on the yen. It does look like it's getting poised for higher prices. Accumulation, man. Lots of accumulation. Let's go. Swaki, man. Bruh. You're the first one. Brace yourselves. Winter is coming. It sure is. Thank you for supporting the stream, dude. So far, that's 3. I bought 1. Ninja Girl bought 1. And Swaki bought 1. Thank y'all. All right. I mean, I really did make it because it's like I wanted the Scriptar with the American flag, not really for merchandise sales, just so I could have it, man. So you go to the thing, man. You flip it over. This would be the U.S. dollar to the Japanese yen. So bearish, interesting. Where the euro looks kind of bearish, the yen looks bullish, and the yen is a hedge. It's like gold in a way, at least in the Forex world. Oh, guys, is that too loud? Not a very good song anyway, whatever. Dang, dude, you know what it looks like, kind of? You know the US dollar? The US dollar to the Japanese yen looks kind of like silver in a way, right? That's, you know, that distribution with the buy wall. Well, last month there were different situations. Bitcoin had broken above a critical support resistance on the weekly, and yeah, a fake out happened where it dumped back below. Not enough demand, so you have to adjust your analysis. And it went to the next support at 99.50. Okay, I guess we can shift back to S coins if y'all want. Hello? Anyone even here? So it looks like Litecoin's got an absolutely incredible looking bullish cipher. You know, it dumped, of course. It's down 6% almost today, but where did it dump? It went to back test April support resistance. It's acting as support. So this may not be over, just like Bitcoin, where eventually it could rally and make those common retraces, see $55, $60 again. I mean, that's very possible. But this structure is huge, man. I mean, June 27th, how big is it, man? It's like size, time. Dang, dude, this is a 71-day large bullish cipher, man. I like that. And that's great. If it actually plays out, man, you're thinking $55 to $60 eventually. All right, on Litecoin. Vacation is can't come soon enough, man. I'll tell you that. Jesus. Bitcoin futures just sitting there, man. 10,325. Nasdaq, Dow Jones, S&P rallying. Eventually, this gap will probably fill, you know, on all of them. But a good start. This is it. I mean, this is exactly what we wanted to see if you want any kind of bullish stuff to continue. You just don't want big, nasty dumps with you know, volume and volatility downside. So yeah, be sure if you haven't joined the Discord, spamming the Discord link right now. There it is, dude. Free Discord. Educational resources there if you want to dip your feet into this world of technical analysis and get started. It's all there for free. Resources, okay? I mean, across the markets, though, everything's just like, don't, you know. Look at Dash, you know, just another lower high in the previous high. Bounced off a very critical area. I mean, this is what you're looking for. So maybe, I mean, maybe you get down to see 65 bucks again, and you get a major potential double bottom. Could be Dash, legendary trade setup 2.0, right? Or the last one we were really able to do. Turned out brilliantly. So, I mean, we're waiting for a setup, you know, on these coins. Nothing. I mean, what can you do with this right now? You gotta wait. Man, we get think about hitting $60 again on Dash. Man, that'd be a great potential trade setup where it's like a slightly lower low double bottom. Oh, and then we get some really strong bullish divergence where, like, by then maybe the RSI is down to like 19 or something, and it looks like this. You know, it's like, holy crap. I mean, that would be perfect conditions to take a shot. Just don't have it yet. Yeah, streaming's more fun when there's an edge across the cryptosphere all over the place. Unfortunately, we're just not at that right now. Yeah, we're in the midst of a relief rally right now, and that relief rally we're in, based on Fibonacci, we know could continue to higher prices, where it could see 10,952, 11,200. Those are 50% 618 retraces from your major high. So yeah, in the midst of a relief rally, and those can extend on longer than you can remain patient, right, or solvent. But at those levels, the 50% 618, that's where we can get major reversals of downside again after making lower highs. Been live for about an hour now, so if you're enjoying it, I guess the like button, the bell, sub, whatever. I don't even know why I ask anymore. I mean, whatever, do what you want. Bitcoin Cash, same thing. Like, hit critical support, bounce, but now look at it. You know, it's like, oh, back down. Okay, not enough bids yet. Maybe you get back down to 205. Be a blessing, and maybe by then you show some really, really strong bullish divergence, and then it might make sense to take a shot. You know, very strong supports. Yet no bids. No bids at all. Hasn't even, I mean, has made a very weak retrace, very shallow. Whoa. Okay, Nasdaq Composite, man. You're just looking at the 60-minute here. That's what we're looking for this week. Looking for this. A potential bullish dragon with 60-minute bullish divergence, closing above 10,823. Extremely important support. This is it, man. This is like where, hey, you have a stop loss below the previous low of 10,739. You let it ride, and it fails. It fails. You can stop out, whatever. I mean, this is like if someone is playing the 60-minute. This is how you look at it and size it up. IMO. mean, you think about the drawdown. 11% drawdown in 8 days. So, okay. 8% drawdown to the next only available support, you know, below 10,823 on Nasdaq, 10,200. That's a big drop. So you get stopped out, it's all good, man. You're probably going to eventually see that level. So it's either now or never. Right now or 10,200 in time. That's what's going on. So keep your eye on the Nasdaq this week, okay? Okay, Alex. It could be good or bad, right? What if more stimulus is talked about, central banks? Oh yes, the lumber futures got destroyed, man. Gap down, the weekly just a huge bearish engulfing candle, and that's why you don't FOMO. Unsustainable, unnatural stuff. It was just crazy. Goes in the chat for scammers posting stuff, getting insta-banned. So this is like really what we should all be paying attention to, I guess, this week. Okay, Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq is the driver of the recovery. Well, it was anyway. If it wasn't for the Nasdaq, we'd be screwed probably. If you don't know what we're talking about lumber, I can just show you. It's insane. I mean, it's like the craziest thing ever. I mean, not really, but it... See, why is it not... Oh, my God, look. Okay. So this is the gap. You see, right? Where it closed the week at 9:39. It has gapped down at open 6:39. You can't even tell. Good luck FOMOing, dude. Wow. So where, though, look left? Back from 2018. That's where you are now. Look at the weekly. You can see it now. Look at this. Huge dump. Extremely large dump, man. The lifespan of this chart goes back to 1973. And you're just at your previous all-time highs. When it went insane once before, it went insane again. So. Well, it looks like y'all are good, man. Looks like y'all, you know, are satisfied, I guess, right? With everything, with... I don't know, dude. Okay, you're holding on Bitcoin above the critical 9950 to 9600. If you break that, you're going to 8500, 8600. If you hold it long enough, you could rally, eventually see 11,463 again on the weekly. You got to break back above 10,550 though. All right, big ifs. Jesus. All right. Y'all are good. I'll be back. Till next time, respect the TA.